India has shored up its defences on land, air and sea. This is the day after Operation Sindoor, in anticipation of any kind of attack from Pakistan now. India has fortified its defence systems on all three fronts. All three defence services have been put on high alert with a multi-layered air defence system fully activated. Forces along the border are also being shored up to deal with any contingency. Police units have been directed to work in tandem with defence forces, while intelligence agencies are monitoring every movement along the western border. Border states have also been put on high alert after Operation Sindoor. Centre has asked states and union territories that share borders with Pakistan and Nepal to make preparations for smooth operations of essential services, stay on alert to deal with any situation and keep a strict vigil on anti-national agenda. On Wednesday, Union Home Minister Amit Shah held a meeting with Chief Ministers of 9 border states and Union territories: Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Sikkim, West Bengal and Jammu and Kashmir. The Lieutenant Governors of Ladakh and J&K were all present. The focus was coordinated security, vital installation protection and internal surveillance. And for more on this, WION's Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal, sent us this report. Take a look.
The situation remains sensitive and tensed. We know that in the aftermath of India striking terror camps in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, we know that Pakistan is contemplating a retaliation, something that the international community has warned against. We know that international community has been not only calling for restraint but also speaking to both India and Pakistan. Several foreign ministers have spoken to the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and the Foreign Minister of Pakistan. Meanwhile, the Indian NSA has spoken to several of his counterparts, including the US Secretary of State and NSA Marco Rubio. Today is expected to be a packed day. There are meetings scheduled here in New Delhi, and also we know that a lot of commentary could come from Islamabad. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.
All right, and now I'm cutting across to our correspondent Idris Lone, who's tracking all the developments coming in from Srinagar at this point. Idris, even back in 2019, soon after the Balakot airstrikes, we saw Pakistani jets scrambling towards India. Now, this time, India is on high alert, especially around the borders and also, of course, along with the states, the union territories as well, which are along the borders. What have you picked up? Any sense of the urgency or the high alert that you are also already sensing?
Well, Shivan, the whole border area of the Kashmir division as well as Jammu's line of control and international border already are on high alert from the last 15 days. But let me tell you that there was ceasefire violation again from the Pakistani side during the night at least 4 places, 3 of them in the northern part of Kashmir in Kupwara district, where we saw yesterday massive damage to the civilian population and the houses in the Keren sector and in the Kupwara district of northern part of Kashmir, as well as in Uri and Baramulla, both the sectors. There's been ceasefire violation in the Akhnur sector of the Jammu division as well, where security now remains on high alert. They've retaliated to the all ceasefire violations from the Pakistan army. But since yesterday, Pakistan army has been using not only the small arms but also massive artillery to not only target the Indian armed forces and their bunkers in installations but also the civilian population. 16 people have died since yesterday in the Poonch district, which also includes one of the army soldiers in the same area. Around 50 people have been injured,
so that would mean
to the hospital.
This makes it the second day of heavy shelling which is going on. This no longer remains small arms fire, as we found out yesterday, which was Pakistan's first reaction to Operation Sindoor. They resorted to heavy shelling across the border, which was being responded to appropriately, proportionately by the Indian forces. And now, as you mentioned, it's not just small arms fire. On the second day, that now makes it the 14th day of ceasefire violations by Pakistan. This is now resorted to heavy arms firing and heavy shelling.
Well, absolutely. There's massive damage to the houses, both in Kupwara as well as in the Poonch sector. Properties worth crores have been completely dismantled by the artillery that has been used by the Pak army on the civilian population of Jammu and Kashmir. The border still remaining tense. Security forces responding at every nook and corner wherever there has been a ceasefire violation, especially in the Kupwara, Baramulla, Uri and Akhnur sectors. But since the attack has come from the Pak army on the civilian population, the whole forward area of the northern part of Kashmir as well as in the Jammu division has been cleared. People are being evacuated. Some of the people who had shifted to the individual bunkers very close to the line of control have also now been told to shift out of their homes and bunkers. People have started moving out of their houses with their basically with whatever they can basically pull up from their houses to move away to the safer places. While as the injured, at least around 50 people have been injured since yesterday in the Kupwara as well as in the Poonch sector
Idris,
of
also
Jammu.
a Gurdwara was hit. A Gurdwara was hit. This is what we picked up yesterday, and we've seen images, and those are very, very painful images. Small children who have lost a limb or they've lost their lives, and these are civilians who have been killed. Those visuals we can't play on the screen. Those are very, very gory visuals, but we've seen those, and a lot of them were from the Sikh community because the Gurdwara was targeted, and that was again in the Poonch region. The casualties have been mostly from the Poonch region. At this point, do you feel that the heavy arms firing is also spreading across the other districts around Poonch?
Well, Shivan, yes, you're right. When you speak about the Gurdwara, which was completely dismantled and damaged in the Pak firing that happened yesterday in the Poonch district. After that, people were moved out of those areas. And thankfully, Poonch did not see the ceasefire violation tonight. Yes, last night. The Indian Army has clearly said that there were 3 locations in the northern part of Kashmir, in Kupwara, Baramulla and Uri, where the ceasefire violation took place from the Pakistan side, while as in the Jammu division, it was only in Akhnur sector where Pakistan resorted to small arms as well as the massive artillery, which not only targeting the installations of the security forces but also the civilian population. We've seen people from Kupwara, Baramulla and Uri now even moving out who actually have the bunkers in their houses, but they've also started moving out of their houses. People have been told to basically move out of them. The Indian Army had earlier told some journalists that they will allow them to go to these areas to see the destruction that the Pakistan Army had created, but that program for today was cancelled because the ceasefire violation still continues. On the other hand, Shivan, we've also seen the gondola services in the Gulmarg, which is a ski resort, have been shut for today, as we heard that some of the shells from because it comes in the Baramulla district only, some of the shells were were thrown close to the location, and that's one of the reasons that the services were closed down for today as well. Meanwhile, if we talk about the whole Kashmir division, the schools, educational institutions as well as university exams have been postponed till further orders, while as the schools very close to the Srinagar airport have also been shut for today, although in other parts of the city the schools do remain open.
And from what I've understood from you, Idris, over here, that in Poonch we saw major casualties yesterday because that's essentially the gravest point of the shelling which was taking place from the Pakistani side as part of the violations of the ceasefire. But because of the way India has responded to that with full proportionality, Poonch has not seen a ceasefire violation last night. And as you mentioned, it's Uri, Baramulla and Kupwara, if I've understood correctly from you. Those are the regions where the ceasefire violations are now taking place. But in Poonch, those have not been witnessed. And that definitely goes to show the way India is responding to these. Idris, I'll come back to you a little later in the day for more details as you continue to track the latest from that. That was Idris Loan getting us the latest from Srinagar. And as he mentioned, the area remains extremely on high alert. But as we could see from behind him, Srinagar, the city, it continues to maintain regular movement as security forces are on high alert.